Hi, and welcome to the Opinionated Bitch. I am your fabulous drag queen host, Prince Electro Diamond, and today I'm going to be discussing the attacks on and the discrimination that has been in the LGBTQ community. Now, this isn't something new. This is something that's been happening for a long, long time, literally going back to the Stonewall riots in 1969. So it's not anything new, but the way that it is now, with fucking extremist right wingers going after drag shows and going after the trans community, it's getting fucking ridiculous. Like, just to name a couple names, we have Diamond Jackson McDonald, who was a 27-year-old woman, trans woman, who was killed in Philadelphia on Thanksgiving. And then we have Daniel Aston, a 28-year-old trans man who was killed in the Club Q shootings. We have Kelly Loving, a 40-year-old trans woman who was killed in the Club Q shootings. For that. And we have Tiffany Banks, who was killed on October 1st, 2022. So, and there are like list upon list of names when you do research on this stuff. And it's honestly just, it's disgusting. It's like, especially the Republicans, once they couldn't attack women or black people anymore, or Hispanics or whatever race, they decided, oh, we're going to go back to attacking the LGBTQ community. Because they've been doing it since the 60s, and shit ain't fucking changed. But in some ways, we, as the LGBT community, the lesbian, gay, bisexual community, I don't think the transgender people have ever had it truly safe. But under the Obama administration, a lot of us were led into like a false sense of security because, yeah, stuff had happened in the past, but it had happened so long before a lot of us, especially people my age, could remember. Because like the Matthew Shepard incident was probably the like one thing that could be like traced back to that recent history. And that was in the 90s. So once we got to 2016 and the Pulse nightclub shooting happened, all of a sudden that sense of security we had was fucking shattered. Because then it's like, oh, no, we're not going forwards. We're going backwards. And to me, I don't get. Like, what the fuck does it matter to you what I'm doing in my life? I don't have anything to do with you. You shouldn't have anything to do with me. It's honestly the same argument that a lot of people have for, actually the argument I have for abortion rights. It's like, why do you have to be involved in somebody's life? It's not yours. If you want to be involved in your life and you don't want to do certain things, you don't want to date a guy or date a girl if you're a woman, if you don't want to date a guy if you're a man, then don't fucking do it. No one's forcing you to be gay. Like, that's not happening. Nobody's forcing people to be, yeah, as I said, nobody's forcing people to be gay. Although there are, again, in the Republican Party, there are hypocrites like Matt Schlapp who will sit there and attack log cabin Republicans, and then all of a sudden will get caught fondling up a man after he went out with him at a bar. So the quote, family values party, the Republican Party, shut the fuck up. You're not. You're not family values. You're not for small government. Just shut the fuck up. You know what you secretly want. It's literally, it's like, just stop lying. Like, we all know. All of us on the left know exactly what you are. There's plenty of people in Congress who are just going to buddy up to you because they feel that they have to do that shit to get ahead. But we know all you want is to take the money from corporations just as the Republicans do. So that's just a side tangent. But with that, I will say, bringing it back around, you're not going to fight for us. If you're voting with Republicans, you're voting with a party that hates us. That's why I don't get why any gay person can be a Republican. It's like, you really want the tax breaks that bad? You really want the fucking tax breaks that bad? Like, you need them that desperately? You're not rich enough? If you're a rich person, fuck you. Fuck you. Because all the Republicans are doing is trying to strip away our rights and strip away the rights of people in the future and in the present. With shit like taking away Medicaid, or not taking away, but trying to reduce Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. So when we're all fucking old, it ain't gonna be there. Because the Republican solution was, let's just privatize everything. And now bringing this back to the attacks on the LGBT community, as I've said before, they're literally attacking drag shows because they say it's, quote, predatory for children. They're trying to be like child predators. No. Newsflash, most drag shows ain't for kids anyway. Like, it's not like drag shows are like out in the public a lot of times. Like, yes, it's becoming more common now, but a lot of times they're in gay bars. And a lot of the shit that goes on in gay bars isn't for kids. Like, it's definitely 18, well, even though you have to be 21 to get into a bar, but it's 18 plus. So, for all of you, yes, you have to separate the fact that there is some drag for children and some drag not for children. Most drag is not for children, but there are some people who do things like lip sync to Frozen and drag queen story hours. So it's like, is everything for kids? No. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because if you don't, they're just going to keep on attacking us. Because corporate media is going to report on these stories, but they're not going to say, oh, it's the fault of the Republicans. They're going to say it's a tragedy. No, it's the fault of right-wingers. I shouldn't say Republicans. It's the fault of extremist right-wingers who literally think that trans people and drag queens are trying to corrupt children. No. No. I'm a drag queen. I'll say it here right now. I don't give a fuck about your children. I want to do my shit. I want to be able to sit behind this microphone and say my piece. Or perform a song and entice a crowd. I don't give a fuck about children. Like that's not in my mind. It's not in my mind to all of a sudden be like, ooh, let me indoctrinate the children. No. I've got more important shit to say with my fucking platform than to sit here and try and indoctrinate kids. Because believe me, with all of this, you have to understand that, especially on the trans part, and them attacking trans people and attacking trans kids, and they're saying that, quote, everyone is for, especially at places like Boston Children's Hospital, the for genital mutilation. No. What places are that help gender affirming care is literally just a place where children who are in dysphoria go to try and take the steps to becoming who they are. Because it's not, it's, I don't know how to say it. It's knowing that you were born in the wrong skin, or I shouldn't say in the wrong skin, in the wrong gender, is something that like blows my mind. It's not something I can understand, but if somebody in their heart knows that they are not how they were born, then let them be who they are. I mean, again, to the extreme right-wingers, what the fuck is it doing to you? They're not asking you to become a different gender. They're asking for themselves to let them be who they are. And with trans people and through the art of drag, we find a side of ourselves that allows us to be able to get through the day. Because I know it. It's a struggle not to wake up every day, put on the wig, put on the shoes for a little bit, and perform or sit on this microphone and talk to somebody. It's something that sucks. It's something I wish that I could do every day, but I can't. So I have to drudge along in life to just get to a place where I can be who I am. Like Prince Electro Diamond is a side of who I am. In some ways, I would say this. This is something where I have to say this to the people who are attacking drag queens and transgender people. If you've never known what it's like to wake up and feel that something is missing in your life, And I'm not talking about for one day. I'm talking about for years for some people. There's something missing. And once you find it, you find the ultimate happiness in your life. If you don't know what that is, then you don't have a single goddamn fucking right to go after any trans people or any drag queens. You just don't. Because you can say this, it's already hard enough being gay, but if you're in an even smaller community, such as the trans community, there are people, especially, there are even gay people who are out there fucking killing themselves because of the messages that right-wingers put out there. They're literally sitting there committing suicide because of the hatred that you spew out of your mouths. Either in person or through your news media. And it's not right. It's sad. Because all these people want to do is just live their lives and be happy. And how someone could have so much hatred in their life that they just want to go out. Listen, you want to protest? That's your right. You've got a First Amendment right. I don't think it's right, but the Constitution's against me on that part. But if you want to sit there and cut off tower, like what happened to a drag show in North Carolina, or you want to make Molotov cocktails and sit there and throw them into a coffee shop hosting a drag show, you're disgusting. You're gross. And honestly, I don't know how any of your family members can fucking love you if that's what you feel you have to do. And I will say this on the part of trans people. Trans people already have it hard enough. There are trans people out there having sex with random people, being sex workers, because they need the money to get hormones and whatever transitional or whatever things they need to transition, because health insurance doesn't fucking include transitioning. This is why, to anyone who says America is the greatest country in the world, wake the fuck up! America is not the greatest country in the world. You got people who are dying out in these streets, and you're going to sit there and tell me that America's number one? Fuck you. Because America is supposed to be the land of opportunities. And that's the lie that we are fed through the media that continues to keep us in the system that we're in now. And if you have this stuff, look, I will say this. I didn't know where I was going with this, so I don't have the research to know exactly if I'm sure. But even if universal healthcare just funded the basics, and transitional care wasn't under that scope of things covered, hey, at least you have your basics covered for by the government. Because, again, this is America, where we can give billions of dollars to the Pentagon, but we can't give a single fucking dime to people to have health insurance. Instead, we got to charge them upwards of $500 a month to fucking go to the doctor. And again, going back to trans people, I will say this again. I've gone off a little bit on this episode. I don't fucking care. Because I am speaking the truth that needs to be said. Because a lot of people don't think that they have to care about trans people. Because especially some people in the GOP, because you have probably two factions of the GOP. You have the extremists who are attacking transgender people, and then you have the other side who's probably like, it's none of my business. Which, you're right, it is none of your business. But because of what the other part of your party is doing, the ones who are attacking the drag and trans people, it is your fucking business. Because you have to tell them to stop. Because as much as I would love for them to get this message from me, they're not going to listen to me, because why listen to a progressive who's just stating facts? You shouldn't be killing people. You shouldn't be harming people. This is a time where, in some ways, even with the inauguration of the next president, they're going to say, this is a time to unite as a country. Why do we have to wait for the next president to come in to unite as a country? We should be uniting as a country right fucking now. Because we are all humans. We are all humans. Whether gay, straight, bi, trans. We are all humans on this planet. And we should be taking care of each other instead of what one party focuses on. One party almost entirely, and then you have corporatists in the Democratic Party who say we need to focus on corporations. We don't need to help corporations. Corporations are money-grubbing machines. We don't need to help them. We need to help people. Because at the end of the day, corporations are going to come and fall more frequently, probably, than people are going to die on this planet. And in somebody's life, they should die from natural causes. They should not be dying because they're killing themselves because of right-wing extremists attacking them, or right-wing extremists should not be attacking them because they don't believe in their lifestyle, their life choice. It's not a choice. It's how you're fucking born. Gender dysphoria is not something that people want to go through. It's something that is happening to them. It's something that happened to them. It's not something they asked for, but it's something they have to deal with. And again, they have a hard enough time. They don't need you to drive them over the edge. And with that being said, this is the Opinionated Bitch. I am your host, Prince Electro Diamond. And I usually end this with, I hope you enjoyed. But I don't hope you enjoyed. All I hope for is that honestly, you learn something. And when you see somebody in distress, somebody who may be straight, gay, trans, bi, that you help them out. And you're the one person who can be there to save them before they die. Bye.